Is going on, guys? It's Ryan from RPS Dent Specialists bringing to you another Dent Digest live show. So I've got a special guest with me tonight. I've got John from Gray Duck Dent Repair, also known as the Dent Reaper. What's going on, buddy?
Not a lot, actually quite a lot, but it's happy to be hanging out with you, happy to be on, and excited to get into the nitty gritty.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to do a little recap from last week's show. We had Aaron from Dr. Dent Repair on, going through his trials and tribulations and, just trying to figure out this industry out. So it's funny because he was on last week and, he's never been through a real hailstorm and never really been through the struggles of how a big storm hits. Well, he got hit 2 days ago with a hailstorm, and I talked to him last night and I talked to him today, and he's like, man, I don't know what to do. We're just trying to figure this out. And I'm like, you can only do so much with these. You can only do so much with your two hands. He's 20 years old, wants to get that money. We all want it all, You know how it is, John. You want all the money?
Yeah, I do. I want it all. I'm looking into some stem cell stuff so I can get 4 of these instead of just the 2. But it doesn't seem that technology is going to be here yet. So
no, and it may be a little expensive.
No doubt.
So we are doing a tool giveaway. We're going to be giving away something pretty cool. The guy's a nice guy that came up with these tools. So, we're going to go into the details here later in the show. Keep you guys on the hook. That's my whole trick with this whole live show thing. Just keep you on the hook for the whole show to figure out what we're giving away. So let's get into you, John. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me, man. This is cool.
If you haven't seen John's live feed he just did on YouTube, he was doing about 150 miles an hour trying to get on the live show. So it was pretty comical. So let's start into how did you start into the paintless dent repair business? Let's get into that.
Well, that would have been back in
1942.
1942. Don't I wish? No, that would have been back in 2010. A buddy of mine running his company and growing, and just brought me on, trained me. I trained down at a salvage title company, a lot that only sells salvage title vehicles, and I basically just pushed there every day for 6 months or so until I was ready to start charging money.
Phew. That was some train wrecks.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel bad for the people that ended up with the cars on the front end of that, but they were salvage title vehicles, so.
So he trained you, or?
Yeah, he trained me, and yeah, it was just a lot of time pushing, man. That was the way he went about it. Was just you just gotta push metal. There's not a lot I can tell you. I think I had some DVDs. It was PDR Coach, I think.
Yeah,
by hand, and
yeah, that was some good stuff though.
Yeah. No, it definitely helped me along, and I mean, it's not as good as the Dent Trainer and all the other options that are out there now, but yeah, it helped me along, and I had other resources, guys that I went to high school with, Justin Verdick, Mark Charpentier. So I knew a few guys in the industry, so I was able to call on them when I needed them, and they were a huge help too. So
yeah. So what did you do before PDR?
Man, I did everything. I went to school for CNC machining. I spent a couple of years in that industry, and that just got too boring. I couldn't watch a machine work all day.
Yes.
Then I was a trim carpenter for a while. I sold real estate and mortgages, and it was kind of at the end of that bubble
Mm-hmm.
that it bounced around a little bit more. I sold some advertising for Yellow Pages, and that company went defunct. And that's when I went into PDR.
So you worked on some salvage vehicles. How long were you doing that?
I feel like it was about 6 months. I'd go there every day for 8 hours and push until I couldn't feel my hands anymore. Actually, the first day I had a hood in my garage and I was pushing. I think I spent 13 hours in my garage, and when I woke up the next morning, I could not feel my pinky or the right side of my ring finger.
Oh yeah.
I ended up pinching my ulnar nerve, and I almost quit. I almost said, "Well, one day of this, and I already can't feel my fingers." But I went to the chiropractor. He straightened me out, and I was like, "All right, we're gonna stick with this." So,
We're gonna figure this out.
and I'm so glad I did. So glad I did.
So after 6 months, where did you? How did that move? You know, how did you go forward with that whole thing?
So the first car I ever charged on was at the same lot, and it was Infiniti G37, dent on the body line, and I just that last 1%. I was just trying to get that last little bit out, and I cranked on it. I was using a Dentcraft red handle double bend,
Yeah, buddy.
and I was in through the wire harness, and I shattered the friggin' window.
Oh,
That was supposed to be my first paying job.
oh my
Whatever.
gosh.
We worked that all out, and I did a bunch of rock lots, a ton of wholesale stuff. You know, just started slow and worked my way up.
Yeah. It's always that struggle when you're first starting. You know what I mean? You're just like,
Oh
did we
man.
make the right decision? You know, I've got Shane right now. He's like, man, you make it look so easy. You just stick the tool in there and you're already fixing the dent. You know, he's got the tool in there and he's all over the place trying to find this thing. And I'm like, what are you looking at?
When you
Well,
can't even find your tip.
I'm using the board over here. And I'm like, well, the dent's over here. Like, you're nowhere near. So it's always that first struggle. Certainly yours had to be tough when you broke that window. That had to be terrifying.
Oh man, I had first time I'd ever seen it. Didn't even know what the hell happened. I was like, "What was that?" Like, oh, that was bad. It was looking back now, it's funny. I think we just said the dent's fixed. I won't charge you for that, and let me know how much the window costs. I think the window that I was charging $75 for the dent. The window was like $73.
Yeah.
So
At least he was cool about it.
it
You know
worked
what I
out.
mean?
Oh yeah. He had a relationship with our company, so it was easily worked out. But it was definitely
The good thing was you pop your cherry the first dent. So then it was open game from there. You know what I mean? It was open game of I already broke a window. What do we got to lose now? All I have to do now is pull paint and we're good.
Yeah. Every car after that has been better.
See? Look at that. So you worked for that company for a little while. Then how did Gray Duck Dent Repair come about? How did the name come about? How did you start that whole thing?
Yeah. So after 7 years of working for someone else, actually, what happened? My dad had a stroke, and I was like, man, you know, I had all these ideas, things I wanted to do, and you know, you run into something like that, and you realize that tomorrow's not promised, and you gotta go for it now. So that's what I did. I went out on my own and started the company, Grey Duck Dent. That name came about from the fact my wife is from Iowa, and when our daughter first started walking, I said, well, before you know it, she's going to be playing Duck, Duck, Gray Duck. And she would, what? Duck, Duck, Gray Duck? You mean Duck, Duck, Goose? What are you talking about, Duck, Goose? Get out of here with that. And did some Googling and found out Minnesota is the only state that plays Duck, Duck, Gray Duck. So
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, well,
Some Minnesota
it's a thing.
trick.
I've never heard of Duck, Duck, Goose.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So it's just kind of like a little nod to my Minnesota roots and a good way to make sure my wife doesn't try to get me to move to Iowa. So,
so how long have you been pushing? Total?
9 years. 9 years.
Look at that. Broken windows first and off from there. All from there. So you started Gray Duck. Did you already have some accounts, or did you pretty much just start fresh?
I started fresh. I did a farewell tour, and I went to all of my accounts and said, "I'm out. You're gonna stay with your current company, and they'll take good care of you, but that'll be that." And one of them actually insisted that I stay, and that was kind of a point of contention with my former employer, but it was what it was. That manager said, he said, "I'm not choosing between you and them. I'm choosing any dent company I want, and I'm choosing Gray Duck Dent." So
that always goes over well.
Okay. Yeah. So, but the funny thing is now is I don't have that account anymore, and my former employer does. So,
hey,
it all comes full circle.
It does. It does. I mean, I remember those days when I started this. I had a couple body shops that I serviced for a long time, so I still had them, and I had some retail, and it's scary, when you're out there and you're just starting a new thing and you're trying to grow. Cold calling every day, it's a terrifying thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I had done it enough that I don't know. I was ultra inspired. So
yeah,
and I had done it enough in the past and cold called on so many different dealers, and I knew a lot of guys, and all my former accounts, I just said, if you know anybody looking, give them my number.
And I think it's confidence too. You get to a point in your career. I have a lot of young guys that call and they're like, how do you're so comfortable with cold calling, you're so comfortable with trying to get accounts, and it's your confidence. When you walk in that front door, in the back of your head, throw at me whatever you have.
Yep.
Whatever you have at me, throw at me. Let me try it. So, it's just one of those things. And it's the way when you walk in, they can tell your confidence. They can tell, okay, this guy's got an idea what he's doing, because they see 1 million dent guys in a year.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So you're growing Gray Duck. Where are you today? So what's your future plans of Gray Duck Dent Repair? Are you going to expand? Are you bringing techs on? You staying just you? What's your game plan?
I think I'm just me for now. I've got an extra garage in the back of my house that I need to get finished and, turn that into kind of an auxiliary shop. And going to go after the hail market pretty hard once that is set up. I know a few guys in town here that I could have, help me out if I got too much hail.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag have, but so that's what I'm aiming at as a way to move into an actual. I would love to have a brick and mortar someday. Just
of course,
if I could keep that busy enough. I do like the mobile aspect. I do like the fact that I'm out and about every day, but at the same time, I got Don Kavanaugh up here. If you've ever been to his shop, there's no way you couldn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Don's got a pretty good setup.
oh yeah, it's beautiful.
He's right in your neighborhood. He's what? I think you said 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, he's about a 30-minute drive from my house, and I mean, I probably pass his shop 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
As I'm going from one appointment to another, or whatever the case may be. But
And one of the questions in here, he says, does it bother you guys if you lose an account at this point in your career? How do you feel about that?
Maybe, depending on the account. Like the one I just lost that one to my former employer, and it made me mad. I knew exactly the car, the situation that it stemmed from. A ruined hood on a Volkswagen Jetta, and I looked and knew it was going to take me 5-ish hours, and it was like a 07, 08 Jetta. And I'm just like, just get a CertiFit hood and paint it. Like, it's not worth it. And it was a new used car manager that had just come to one in 4 months, maybe. I mean, they were just turning through these guys, and I didn't get off famously with that guy, and I just figured, yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't care. I'm doing.
Yeah.
It came back to bite me. So
Hey.
that was aggravating, but at the same time, I'm so busy every single day that it was kind of nice to free that up. I got more. So now, instead of having 2 days a week to focus on retail, I have 3 days a week to focus on retail.
Yeah.
And I make the same or more and do less work. So
Less BS. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets to a point, and me personally, sometimes I don't even lose the account. I'll fire the account. You fire your customers sometimes, it's, you get to a point where you're like, it's just not worth my time to do your cars. And it's terrible to say that, because there's a lot of guys fighting every day for work, but you get to a point to where you're like, this isn't for me. It's not working out.
But or you raise your prices, and by default you get, when now it's 150 a car. Well, what do you mean? Well, you keep giving me these cars, I can't do them for that. So
and you'll see accounts. Went up. I have an account right now that I fought to get. I share it with another dent guy, and which is fine because he can't fix anything bigger than $50. But it seems like all I get is these smashes. So my average repair there is $150 or more. And it seems like the manager's like, okay. Because he knows what it's going to cost to go to the body shop. It's held up. They're crushing them in-house. So you get to a point to where you have to make that business decision of raising your prices and going through that trial. You almost have to feel those managers out, or you raise them because you want to lose the account, and then they're going to ask you to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does stink losing accounts sometimes. It happens to all of us. If you're a dent guy and you're out there and you're telling me that you never lost an account, you're full of it. You're full of it.
Yeah. Or just tell me what market you're in and
come on. You got a lot of things that factor into that. You know what I mean? You have personality difference. There's an account that I go into, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, probably twice a month. And there's a different manager in there every time I go in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like starting over. You have to prove yourself to this manager. You have to show him what you can do. I went in, I actually was there today, and I was like, I'm not even giving any more business cards out here. Because I bet you it's been 17 people in there in the last full 12 months. It's just one after the next after the next. And even Shane today was like, man, every time we go in there's somebody new. And I'm like, yeah, it's what's going on here. And you get the managers to where you really click and you get along with them really well. And then you get the managers to where that you're not getting along with this guy. You just have that feeling.
Yep.
Another guy says, build your retail so you don't have to worry about accounts. Very true. Very, very true.
Definitely. Retail is key. I mean, it's much better. But here in Minnesota, once you get mid-November, that phone ain't ringing again until, late February. And really car wash weekend, whatever the first weekend where somebody can actually go outside and stand there and admire their car for the first time in 3 months. That's when the phone starts ringing. But, so it's a mix of wholesale and retail is pretty important, unless, I don't know. Maybe I need to be better with my money, but I can't go 3 months.
Well, I mean, you guys have some crazy cold weather there, though.
Yeah.
Here, I think this winter it snowed maybe an inch or two twice. And here, so you got to realize if it snows in Maryland, an inch, everything's closed. It's like Armageddon over here. It's the craziest thing ever. You got guys freaking out. Sometimes I sit there and I'm like, man, I should be in the snowblower business because every snowblower is gone every year. It's gone. And I'm like, we're getting an inch of snow. You can sweep it with a broom.
Yeah, or just wait a day.
No, I've got a question for you. How do you deal with the cold weather on a retail location if you're outside? What is your preparation? Are you using heat? Are you using heat gun or torch? How do you handle those situations?
Yes. Heat gun, torch.
That's a good answer. I mean, I like yes.
Gloves, keep the truck running so you can go and warm up if need be. But I typically say I'm not working outside if it is below 20 degrees.
Okay.
That's about my threshold to where I'm comfortable that I can get the panel hot enough, do everything that I need to get the job done properly while still being outside. And, a lot of customers will have a garage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring a torpedo heater and a propane tank and heat up their garage if need be.
Wow, look at you.
You got to do what you got to do.
Holy moly. So are you wearing layers? I mean, what is your average attire?
It takes me 3 hours to get dressed on a cold morning. So many layers. No, that's a little exaggeration, obviously, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I got thermals to hoodies and everything in between, and you got to find the happy medium to where you're not the kid in A Christmas Story where you're so bundled up that you can't move, but you're able to stay warm enough long enough to get the job done. And really, for me, it's my hands. I mean, because as soon as those go numb and you can't feel what you're doing, then you're liable to make a mistake. So
mine are my feet. If my feet are cold, I'm done. I'm going home.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can stand on 2 frozen bricks and still get my job done, but I can't feel what I'm doing.
Are you wearing gloves? What are you wearing?
Oh yeah. I've you got to get the perfect glove that's not like a mechanic's glove, a little bit thicker than that. The Home Depot sells them. They're these blizzard gloves, and you can only buy them in October because they sell out every year. And when it's cold out and you actually need them, you go in there in January, they're all sold out. So I normally buy 2 or 3 pairs in October as soon as they hit the shelves. And
well, this year, buy me a pair because they don't sell blizzard gloves here at Home Depot. So are you mainly a torch guy or a heat gun guy, or is it all situational?
It's situational. Health, obviously, on me at all times, but yeah. Usually, if I'm outside, I'm just rocking the torch and
Yeah.
getting her done. But you know, bigger smashes, you know, certain situations call for more heat. So
Of course. Of course. You know, it for me, I used to break out the old, and I would be at a customer's house. They didn't have a garage, so I didn't have power. And I'd break out the old map gas with the big torch, and I'm out there blasting the side of a car with a torch, and the customer's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" So I went and bought this little Snap-on, nice little click power, and it worked great. It's the reason I bring it up was because I got aggravated today and set it on the ground a little harder than it should have set, and yeah, it doesn't work anymore. So I'm kind of torchless right now.
Yeah, that's a son. So is that one of those little butane ones?
Yeah, that the Snap-on one is. I've had a whole bunch of them. I bought the cheap ones from Home Depot. They just don't last. The Snap-on ones, he has two different sizes, and I got the larger size, and it's little. And man, this thing, I've had it for probably almost 2 years, and it is awesome. It is awesome. So if you're watching Snap-on, I need to get another torch.
You can send it to Grey Duck Dent. I'm gonna look into that for sure. For sure.
It's awesome. I'll send you a picture of it tomorrow. So,
Cool.
are you mainly body shop, retail, lot work? What is your average go on a daily?
I'm probably 40-40-10. 40% wholesale lots, 40% retail, and 10% body shops. There's a lot of guys in Minnesota that, I mean, like Don, that we had this German guy, Jürgen Holzen, that he actually trained Don Kavanaugh.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember that name.
He was, Jürgen came in like the late 80s or something, and he started training guys in the early 90s, I think, or maybe even before then. But there's a lot of old school guys up here, and which is cool until you want to get some more body shop accounts, because they're dug in pretty well. I think I've got 8 or 9 guys, within 10 minutes of my house that push dents. So we're, and maybe that's an excuse on my part. Maybe I just need to do better going into body shops, but I've been busy enough and haven't hit the body shops as hard as I probably should. So
yeah, it's got its ups and downs too. When I started this, I didn't want to do the dealer thing because I'm an old Dent Wizard guy, and they were always dealer. So
yeah,
I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do the wholesale pricing. So I was like, let me do body shop. And it's been great. It's been a great thing for me. I do have a couple dealers, but the hard part with the body shop is they want it done now. And they'll call you and need you there ASAP. So it's almost like you're always on call. You know what I mean? It's always, hey, can you come out today? We ding this. We're trying to deliver it. So it makes it difficult too. So, but the good thing with the body shop stuff is you're getting pretty good money. You're using their space, which is really nice because you're not outside. And a lot of times my biggest thing, I used to do Google AdWords. I really haven't run any Google AdWords in some time. And a lot of it's word of mouth from the body shop. So
yeah.
Handing cards out, or I'll do a run every couple months to give donuts to all the shops and keeps them happy, man. You gotta keep those estimators fed.
No doubt.
That's the body shop hustle, guys. That's your tech tip for today. Keep the body shops fed, and you're gonna be just fine. All my competitors are like, that's what we're doing. Next week, I'm gonna walk in. All my accounts are all gonna have Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys know or not. So John is the Dent Reaper, the man that has created these tools. Look at this little baby blue we have here. So how did this whole concept come to life? Let's get into this.
So the Dent Reaper was born in my sleep, but really, CX9, man, and just every time I got these dings on these CX9s, my favorite door tool was spinning out of them. And, I bought some other ones and tried those, and they weren't quite what I wanted. And, I basically just combined all my favorite parts from my favorite door tools and tried to have it made. And actually, I went out to the garage and got the original Dent Reaper. Look at this thing.
Oh man,
janky AF. Just I've had this guy make this. I got 3 of them made for like, I don't even know what it was, a couple $100, and he did not get it. So, yeah, I had a CAD mate. I went to so many different machine shops, and like I said, I went to school for that, and I had worked in machine shops before, so I kind of knew how to navigate that a little bit. But even still, I just could not get anybody that could do everything needed with the bending, the welding, the shaving, all of that in one shop. And I was getting astronomical prices. And John and Maria Kallenbach were on PDR Tool Time podcast, and they, mentioned custom tools and that they wouldn't steal your design, and they'd be willing to work with you. So I called them up, and everything went amazingly well. So.
So you said you've kind of combined a couple tools to this. What tools did you kind of combine to come up with your idea? Or was it just some stuff that you were like, well, if this was shaved a little bit, I think it would be a little better. Or if this was sharper, how did you come up with this? Or was it mainly off of that first design?
Yeah, no, it was mostly a combination of my favorite Dentcraft door tool, from the black handle set.
Oh, those things are great.
Yeah, and then a couple of my PDR finesse tools that I had, but they didn't have the right curve, and I didn't like a T-handle on a door tool, and I didn't like their ratchet handle had too much play for me, and I just however it all, just combining all of them together, and I think it was
your first guy. You went in, you said, I want this head with this shaveness, with this length, and the guy's like, oh, I gotcha. Yeah. And then you got that.
Then he gave me, then he gave me this.
It's a hard. Did the guy have one eye?
I don't know. He makes really cool stuff like tables and furniture and all kinds of cool stuff he makes there. And he just, I don't know if he didn't take me seriously, or he didn't understand. I don't know, but
you said, I want this sharp tip, and you got the tip of a boot.
Yeah, that thing is just pathetic.
Did it work? Did you use it for a while though?
No, I used it a couple of times to see if the kick was long enough. That was my main concern, and it was. Obviously, it wasn't what I was hoping for, but the kick was long enough, and this is like cold rolled steel or something. There's flex in it. So that was no good. But
So you need to
yeah,
take
but
a
then
new Dent Reaper and then the old Dent Reaper and frame them.
yeah,
That would be cool.
that will hang in my shop someday.
It's funny because when I was trained with the Wiz, I still have the original D214 tool, and it's like this weird handle, and it's just a round piece of steel that came out, and it was just a ball head on it, and I still have
Oh
it.
yeah, you posted that the
Yeah,
other day, right?
I still have that thing, and I'm like, it's in my truck right now, and it just rides with me. I'll never use it again because it's just about worthless compared to what we have now, because the Dent Reapers do so well. But I'm like, man, we used to fix dents with this stuff, even Worth glue tabs. Those things are about the worthless tool out there. There was a guy on here a couple weeks ago that said he's still using them. I'm like, what are you doing to yourself?
I less than a year ago, I bought a whole pack of those purple tabs because I lost my.
Don't
last
buy anymore.
one.
I've got a box of them over here that's got so much dust on them. Looks like it should go in the Smithsonian.
Oh, every once in a while, because of the way that tab flexes,
True.
I really like it. I really like it in certain situations, but I mean, obviously, it doesn't touch the gangrenes, the dead centers.
The dead center is the game right now. Those things.
Oh, dude, they're sick, right?
Chris White, you knocked it out of the park with those, buddy. Those things, if you guys don't have these dead center tabs, they are the baddest tabs. It almost pulls everything inside out on one pull. I mean, they're the baddest. And I don't know if it's the length of the neck or the size of the tab.
I think it's the diameter of the neck because it's forcing all that energy into a smaller diameter. So you're just getting that much harder of a pull. I don't know.
Yeah, they're bad.
Maybe I'm being a Monday morning physicist here, but
hey, it's trade secrets. It's trade secrets. So Straight Line's asking, what is the foot length on the Reaper?
The kick is 4 inches. 4 inches.
And he's got 3 different sizes. So what are your sizes there?
So the original is 29 inches.
And that's your middle size, or is that the long one?
That's the longest one.
Okay.
It's 29 inches with the 7/16 diameter. Then Little Red is 23 inches with a 3/8 diameter. Same shave, same kick. And Baby Blue is 17 inches with a 5/16 diameter.
And that's what I have right here, is the Baby Blue.
Yeah, they're all the same shave and kick. And yeah.
So your original ones had a standard handle. I have the original red handle one that I've had for some time. The new ones, you can buy both though. I saw on your site you can buy the regular or you can buy the A1 ratcheting handle.
Yep. You can go either which way. When I first came out with them, I didn't even want a ratcheting handle because I didn't have very good experiences with ratcheting handles. I'm just not a fan of the play, but
of course
is probably, as far as play goes, the best. And so many people were asking for them, so we said, well, yeah, let's put out the ratchet handle. And yeah, I mean, I must be crazy because the ratchet handle outsells the fixed handles probably 7-1.
Of course.
I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's substantial.
And the John Hiley handles just changed the game now.
Oh man, that thing is sick.
This thing, I used it today with your longer Reaper, and I was actually on the phone with you telling you I was about to punch holes in this door.
You got to be careful with
this thing. With obviously the larger one of these, you can't. I can't even explain it. If you don't have it, you need to get it. The other handles are good too. You did a live video with both handles, with that handle and the PDR Tool Time. What were they called?
The Viper Skins.
Viper Skins. That's it.
Yeah. Those things are really comfortable.
And
I'm using them a lot more.
they're cost
And
effective. I was very shocked when I saw the prototypes at Anson Open House, and Vince was telling me the price point, and I was like, how are you guys even making any money? They're
yeah,
billet aluminum anodized. How are
yeah,
you?
yeah, they're $50.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
and it
know.
eliminates what the Viper ones do is they eliminate this. You cut the plastic dip off and you bolt a handle. It's almost like a gun grip on this, and it's really comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable. There's another tech tip for you. If you're gonna cut the dip off to put a Viper skin on, get your heat gun out and torch that baby for a couple minutes, and that dip will come off way easier.
That's what I'm gonna have to do to this one. Maybe I'll do a live. I'll do a live feed on YouTube on cutting this off, so you can hear how bad I cuss in real life. So you went to John and Maria, and you said, "Hey, I want to build this tool." Did you send them a prototype? Did you send them the CAD drawings? How did that whole thing unrail?
I sent the CAD drawings, and the first time I called there, I talked to Tom, just one of the guys that answers the phone on a regular basis. And, I was like, can I talk to John or John Callenbach? He's like, well, he's not here right now. And I said, well, I heard him on the podcast, Custom Tools. Said he wasn't going to, and he's like, oh, yeah, we build custom tools for people all the time. Just, what do you want? And I said, well, I got a CAD drawing. Can I send you that? He's like, shit, perfect.
So you did all the hard work.
Yeah, he was like, holy cow, yeah. So they made me one, and the first one I had out of 3/8, and it had at 30 inches, and it had just a little bit too much flex. So I said, yeah, an inch and beef it up to, and I still use that. That's the go-to tool. Like, I don't even have another double on it.
Yeah.
Because at that point was the tool that
I'm losing you a little bit there, John.
Yeah, I'm losing you too. But yeah, it was right around the same time I went out on my own, and I ordered. I just ordered a box of 25. I said, just give me 25 of those things. I'll figure out how to sell them from there. And they sat around for a long time. I mean, I sold a few to guys I know and in Minnesota here, and then Q went down to Anson for the open house and mega media event. And
you're talking about Q Dent Repair, right?
Yep.
He's a good dude. Yeah.
Tony's awesome. And I gave him 4 Reapers and said, just give them to the podcast guys and see what they say, and Vince and Mike, and they all called me up and said thanks, and we'll try it out. And like a week later, Vince was like, yeah, I got this new tool and I really liked it. And he said it on the podcast, and then people started finding me on Facebook and saying, hey, how do I buy this thing? I can't buy this. So I had to build a website overnight, and it's been such an awesome journey from that point on, just talking to so many different dent guys from, all over the place, all over the world, really. I just got another order from France a couple days ago here. So it's mind blowing to think of, just where it started to where it's come. And I don't know. I don't even know what to say at this point, but thanks to everybody who's bought one.
I'll give you a little funny story. So I'll tell you how John and I met. We were at MTE last year, and I was with Dave-O, and we're walking by, and Dave's talking to this guy, and I'm like, his voice sounds so familiar, but I can't. I'm like, we walk away, and I'm like, who the hell is that guy? And he goes, that's John, the Dent Reaper. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's where I know that guy from.
Crazy.
I'll tell you, if you guys can go to MTE this year, it's overwhelming. It is so much being thrown at you every way, so many people to meet, but it'll change everything. It'll change your relationships with guys. It just opens your eyes to where you're like, wow, okay.
Yeah, it is. This year was my first year, and it was, mind blowing, amazing. Like, I'm mad at myself for the first 8 years of my career. I didn't go, but I'm glad I went, and I can't imagine not going. So
no, and you know what? It's such a good mark,
get there,
like networking event.
Definitely gonna be worth it.
It is. It's awesome. I mean, it's a really good group of guys, and you get to meet a lot of guys. And like for James and Shane, they've never been. They're still new to the industry, and they got to meet young guys that were struggling on the same thing, and get to meet the tool manufacturers. Guys are just kind of hanging out and figuring out what's new. And do you like the new Baby Blue Reaper? Do you not like it? Do you like Hiley's hand? Just so many conversations going around. It's a really good event. Yeah. So I don't know how. Are you planning on going to MTE Vegas?
That is still undecided as of yet. I really do want to go. My wife really wants to go. We brought our daughter to Orlando, and they went to SeaWorld and all that kind of stuff. But my wife wants to actually go to the show and hang out in Vegas. So we'll see if we can make that happen. There's a lot going on right around that time. There's so many shows. September is still normally a pretty good month. It's only one weekend. Yeah. So I'm hoping to make it. But October, I want to get to the MME in Colorado.
Yeah. That's supposed to be a pretty good event. He hasn't really done a whole lot
in November. So it's just,
Missouri, right?
Branson, yeah. So there's so many stacking up now. It's
I feel bad for Mike Toledo. Because he's that guy. He's like a world traveler now.
Yeah. Can you imagine his airline miles?
Oh, I can't imagine. No.
He's got to be.
No way. He's flying for free.
For free everywhere.
Yeah. He's getting that VIP seat in the front with his wife. But, the cool thing in this industry is we have guys like you.
I was have a dent.
Huh? I think we lost
you
John.
Cut out for a second.
Still there?
I said I was going to have a travel.
He's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. The Reaper. It'll scratch the back of your ears as you're on the plane.
Yeah.
Killer.
All these shows, you got to have something.
Oh, you know what? It's awesome for the new guys, man. It's awesome. I'll tell you, the Anson Open House was an awesome event.
I got to get to that one.
You know what it was? It was different than MTE because you got to spend more time with people. MTE, it's just so much coming at you at all the directions. You almost can't enjoy it. It's a great time, but it's just a lot coming at you. The Anson Open House was kind of relaxed. You could sit there and spend time with James Lee or, anybody that that it's in the industry. The dent line, it was the first time we really sat and had a conversation. And
he's a great guy. Jason's awesome.
He really is, man. He's funny. We talked. We hung out all weekend. Just he's still new to the industry and trying to figure it out. And he's got his new little thing coming out too. So his little marketing business.
Yeah. Well, he knows. Houston's plenty saturated, and and he's doing pretty well down there. So he knows how to make it happen online. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's figured out some of the stuff he was throwing at me. I'm like, look, dude, we got to Google Hangouts this because you're speaking Spanglish to me, and I have no clue what you're talking. So, but the cool thing in our industry now, and the new guys are kind of reaping the benefits, is guys like you, guys like Ray Sapnew, and all these guys that are creating tools because they were dent techs that said, you know what, I need something like this to get in this certain type of car, and they're bringing them to market. And man, it is like Matt from Get a Grips in here, and I use that strong arm all the time.
Oh yeah, that thing is awesome. And the lift right, yeah, like you say, it just, and I think we are just scratching the surface of that. I think we're gonna see a lot more guys coming out with stuff, and I'm excited. So,
when I started, it was Dentcraft, Dent Magic Tools, A1 was around, and it there were tools out there, but like when I got the James Lee Illuminant light, that was like HD television. You're like, oh
yeah,
my gosh, how was I fixing this without it? I don't even carry a regular reflection board in my truck anymore. I don't.
I have one, but it's in the drawer, and it only comes out if I need a shade board.
Hey, So you've brought these products to market. What is going to be the up and coming? Is there any new stuff coming out for the Deep Dent Reaper? Is there, what's the future of the Dent Reaper? There he goes. He's back. He was just taking a nap.
Yeah,
taking a nap. He's just napping.
Oh my God.
You're good. I can still hear you. I just can't see you. Napping's allowed. This is the Dent Digest.
Are we back now? Sorry.
I've got no video, but I've got your audio. Dent Digest is like the old magazine. There you go. Look at that. We're back.
Hey,
the Dent Reaper was napping. Right. So what is the future for the Dent Reaper?
Well, there was a lot of guys asking me for a T-handled rod. So I went to work on that probably, I don't even know, 6-7 months ago now. Just before MTE, I went to work on this. And this is the T-handled rod that I came up with. And it's similar to the Dent Reaper, but we've got a little bit of a different option there. So you got the same shave and kick. Actually, the kick's a little bit extended to compensate for this bend, which is going to allow for soft pushing. And you can flip her over and clean everything up. And Cliff Ramadin asked me at the Stanliner event to round this back edge off to allow for some more versatility. So we did that, and Toledo said needs to be shiny. So I made it shiny.
Stainless? Is it stainless?
Yeah, it is. Yep, it is stainless.
Oh man, look at you.
So this is the Reaper rod is what I've been calling it. Daniel Grom suggested the sickle. I don't know. Maybe I need to put up a Facebook poll or something. But
that sounds like a good plan. Get them all involved.
Yeah.
So
take a page out of Hiley's book.
What sizes are you coming out with that thing?
We're gonna have a 40, a 30, and a 20-inch. And the 40-inch is a 1/2 inch diameter. The 30-inch is 7/16, and the 20 is 3/8.
I like that little kind of hook there. That little bump out is awesome.
Yeah, so it gives you gives you a little bit of versatility. You can push soft with it, or you can flip it over and clean up with the same standard sharp tip that you're used to. And yeah, I played with a few different variations of it. And this is where we landed, and yeah, I'm excited. So the pre-sale on this is going to drop fairly soon. I'm just waiting on a couple things to be ready for that. Actually working with Justin at PDR Life Gear, and he's going to make some hats. So in the pre-sale, anybody that orders a set will get a Reaper hat, and it'll have the PDR Life Gear logo on the back.
Oh, that's cool. It'll look like a baseball, like a Major League Baseball. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that a standard T handle on the back of that?
Yep. Standard T handle, and I color coded them like this is actually going to be reversed. So because the color doesn't show through on the black, so it'll be a green with a black little tip. So just one side is going to have that little tip on it, because when you're in a hole or wherever you're in and your phone rings or something, you come back and your tool's twisted around, and then you go in and you start pushing, you don't know what side you're on. So I just figured we'd give one side a little code, and you'd know if that's on the left, your sharp side up, or if it's on the right, your soft side
Great
up.
idea.
So
I did like, I have the Carbon Tech rod, and I could never figure out, you don't want to lose what you're looking at, so you set it down, you're looking around, and you're like pushing, and you're like, yeah, this is an R4, spin it. So I have a little piece of yellow tape that I could just glance down.
Yeah.
But that's the benefit of having technicians build tools, because they can say, this is the problems that I have, and you came up with the handle idea. You know what I mean? That's perfect.
Yeah.
So what is your idea on pre-order for those things in the next month, in the next?
You're hopefully going to see it hopefully by the end of next week. A1 is just about done with the first run of them, and then I'm going to send some out to people that can test them and get the word out and say what they like and or don't like about them, and then once those hit, then I will go live everywhere I can and shout it from the rooftops in every way I know how that the pre-sale is on.
And they'll be on your website also, correct?
Yep, they'll be on dentreaper.com and probably on a1.com or pdrtool.com on the A1 site.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on, man. It's give these guys a little insight on how this type of stuff comes to life. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy how your ideas are in how many people bought this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is mind blowing, and like I say, it's all over the dang world at this point. I think the only continent we're not on is Antarctica, so I might have to bring a Reaper down there.
You may sell one of those rods. So we are doing a giveaway, and what I'm going to do is we are going to do the comment game again. So you guys need to comment on this video after the show, and as many times as you comment, the more you're going to get generated into the generator to win one of these Dent Reapers. I'm not going to tell you which one. It's going to be a surprise. So when you open that box, you're going to be like, oh, okay, it's the baby blue, it's the red, or the black. So after this show, get on there, comment as much as you can to get your name entered in there as much as you can. and we are going to. And I'm actually changing the date on you, John. We are going to announce it tomorrow night.
Oh,
tomorrow night at 8:00. So
all right.
Get on there and comment as much as you can. Chris is on here. He's the one that won the Blem tool giveaway. So get on there, comment, and win some of these tools. But no, man, I really appreciate you coming on. Just talking about dent stuff and tools, and there's some good questions in here. How can guys get a hold of you or find you online?
I am Dent Reaper on Instagram or Facebook, and also I am Gray Duck Dent on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of that. So, yeah, subscribe to my YouTube. I need like 20-ish more subscribers to get my custom domain. So, if you guys want to, I got some okay videos. I'm not at Ryan's level, that's for sure.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
I just want a custom.
I'm just
want that youtube.com/dent, but you can't do it unless you have 100 subscribers. So.
Yeah, it's. You don't have 100 subscribers yet?
No.
Come on. We're gonna make this happen. So what do they look up when they go on YouTube? Gray Duck Dent Repair?
Yeah. Yep.
So
you'll just have to put in the search bar.
So if you guys are commenting on this tool, you need to go on the Gray Duck Dent Repair on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. Trying to get him to 100. I do have some exciting news, though. Exciting news is I did finally hit 500 real YouTube subscribers. That was kind of exciting. It's taken a little while.
Jackpot.
Look at that. We're getting there.
That's beautiful.
We're getting there. It's super cool.
Beautiful.
But,
beautiful.
And John's got some good information on his YouTube. He's got some good repairs.
Well, we do our best. That's all you can do.
Did you put the one on about your truck?
Oh no, I still gotta edit that thing, and I'm still trying to get my hands on that security footage. I don't think it's gonna happen though. But
so I'll tell you real quick before we get off here. A funny story was I was talking to John on the phone, and he's like, "Man, somebody kicked my truck last night. It's got a big dent in the bedside, and I have to work on my own truck today." And I'm like, "Okay." And then 2 minutes later, he hung up on me. I called him back, and I said, "You know why your truck's dented? Because you just hang up on people. That's why your truck's dented." But you should have seen this. That dent was bad.
Yeah. It was. It was the whole bedside from the bottom of the wheel well all the way up. I mean.
Yeah, Chris said he saw it on Instagram. You're fixing your own.
Yeah. I put a couple clips up on there just because I knew dent guys would appreciate the irony there.
Hey, whenever you have dent repair on the side of your truck, people think it's funny.
Yeah, I'm imagining what some jerk thought that when he saw my truck parked on the street there and gave it a good boot. So
it was good practice. See, the bad thing with me is I don't fix my own cars. I'm not that good of a tech, so I called some better techs in my area to come fix my stuff, and I just pay them. But no, man, I appreciate you coming on. It's been a really good show. Some good information, and get on his YouTube and subscribe. Let's get him to 100. And he's putting out some good content. So,
shucks.
Get out there.
Those are all mine.
And remember, guys, thanks for watching, and keep it real. I'll see you tomorrow night at 8:00 for the drawing for these Reaper tools. Make sure you comment as much as you can to get in there. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.